Welcome to the ASTRALX Deep Dive, illuminating your path. I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And I'm Lunarius Lean, your intuitive guide.
We bridge celestial wisdom,
Unlock your modern path. Discover guiding starlight insights.
explore powerful cosmic energies. So, how do planetary transits shape your story today?
Well, today we're really diving deep into a very specific map for 2025.
We're looking at the path for a Sagittarius Sun man with Libra rising. The source material we're exploring actually calls this archetype the Star-Crossed Diplomat. Kind of evocative, right?
It really is. And we're working from notes, research specifically tailored to this,
Yeah.
this particular blend of energies.
Exactly. And our goal here, our mission is to help you unpack this celestial archetype
Right. Understand the key planetary stuff that the source highlights for 2025.
and pull out the practical insights so you can get a feel for what this pretty significant year might hold.
Yeah, it's about seeing how these big cosmic currents might, influence your own story. It really makes you think.
How might these powerful 2025 energies shape your path, especially where that classic Sagittarian need for truth and adventure?
Hot fire.
Exactly. Where that meets your deep desire for harmony, for connection, that Libran air quality. Let's really get into it.
Okay, so first things first. Let's define the star-crossed diplomat as the source sees it. It's essentially a fusion, right?
A blend, yeah.
You've got the Sagittarius Sun, that's your core, your essence. The cosmic archer, always seeking truth, pushing boundaries, aiming for that bigger picture wisdom.
Always looking beyond the horizon.
Right. And then that's paired with Libra rising. That's more your outward style, how you meet the world, how you start things. The harmony artisan, we could say.
Okay, the harmony artisan, striving for balance, beauty, connection, that real Venusian touch.
Exactly. So you have this inherent quest for truth meeting this fundamental need for balance and relating.
And the source material points out that for 2025, the core job for this archetype is about brokering peace.
Interesting. Peace where? Like externally?
Well, yes, potentially, but also deeply internally. Brokering peace between that adventurous Sagittarian urge and that deep Libran desire for partnership, for connection.
So it's about transforming that philosophical fire
Yeah,
into something more like relational artistry,
Yeah.
using that Libran grace.
precisely. That's a great way to put it, relational artistry. Okay, so what are the big energies shaping this landscape in 2025 according to the source?
Well, let's start with the heavy hitters, the slower movers. First up, Pluto in Aquarius, and for this profile, it's landing in your 9th house.
Pluto, transformation power. Aquarius, revolution, the future. 9th house, big picture, beliefs, travel. Okay, the source calls this a galactic download. That sounds intense.
It is intense. Yeah, galactic download is the phrase they use. Think of it like this. Pluto digs deep, right?
Yeah.
Brings total transformation.
Mhm.
Aquarius is all about shaking things up, innovation, future thinking. And the 9th is your worldview, your philosophy, higher learning, even long-distance travel and other cultures.
So this energy hits right at the core of your belief systems.
Exactly. The source suggests it triggers this quantum entanglement with revolutionary new truths. It's not just questioning things.
It's a fundamental rewrite.
Right, a total metamorphosis for your beliefs, how you approach education, your connections across cultures. Old dogmas, the source says they shatter.
Making way for a more universal wisdom, maybe.
That's the idea. And interestingly, the source notes this can even feel physical, a somatic resonance.
Physical, how so?
It describes it as feeling like electric currents, specifically in the thighs and the third eye area during these big paradigm shifts.
Wow, electric currents. Okay, and the practical tip from the source to handle that?
Simple, actually. Walk barefoot on the earth, grounding that powerful energy.
Makes sense. Connect with the ground when your mind's flying high. Okay, what else is big?
While Pluto's doing that revolutionary work, we've got Saturn moving through Pisces in your 4th house.
Okay, Saturn's structure, karma, lessons, Pisces dissolving, spiritual, maybe confusing, and the 4th house, home, roots, family, emotional foundations. That sounds complex.
It definitely is. The source frames it as Saturn's usual karmic bedrock, the solid structures, maybe even rigid ones,
Right.
dissolving in Neptune's ancestral oceans. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, see? So it evokes this image of deep, perhaps murky, ancestral patterns coming out.
Dissolving bedrock and ancestral oceans. Wow. So the call is to heal old family stuff.
Yeah.
Generational wounds.
Exactly. And at the same time, consciously building your emotional sanctuary, really defining what home and security mean for you on an inner level.
That sounds incredibly important, but maybe not easy. Vulnerable work.
Definitely vulnerable. The source even notes a somatic resonance here too, like a saltwater pressure in the chest and knees, especially maybe during family visits or dealing with those themes.
Saltwater pressure.
Huh?
Like tears held back or deep emotion.
Yeah.
And the action.
Again, simple but potent. Place your hands on your heart and just hum. Connect inward. Soothe that emotional core.
Okay. Pluto shaking up beliefs. Saturn dissolving and rebuilding foundations. What about Jupiter? The planet of luck and expansion.
Jupiter makes a key move in 2025. It starts the year in Gemini, which is your 7th house. That lasts until about May.
7th house. Partnerships, relationships, marriage, contracts, even open enemies. Jupiter there sounds expansive for relationships.
Totally. The source calls it a partnership supernova phase. It really amplifies alliances, collaborations, significant one-on-one connections, big opportunities there.
A supernova. Okay. But then it moves.
Yep. From June onwards, Jupiter shifts into Cancer, moving into your 8th house.
Ah, the 8th house. Deeper territory. Shared resources, intimacy, transformation, death and rebirth themes, psychology.
Exactly. So Jupiter moving here isn't just about more, it's about deeper. The source calls this shift into soul gravity intimacy.
Soul gravity intimacy. I like that.
Yeah, it suggests an intensification of shared resources, maybe finances, inheritances, but also profound psychic bonds, vulnerability, the deep merge.
So relationships potentially get much deeper, more intense, more entangled in the second half of the year.
That's the potential, yes. Shared vulnerability becomes key.
Okay, so we have these big background energies. What about the eclipses? They usually bring turning points.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in 2025, they're hitting very personal spots for this profile. The Aries-Libra axis, that's your 1st and 7th houses. Key dates mentioned are March 29th and September 17th.
First house is self, identity, how you project yourself. 7th is partnership, the other. So the eclipses are hitting that core balance beam.
Precisely. The source calls them identity supernovas. Boom! They light up this fundamental tension. Your need for independence, your Aries potential, perhaps, even though it's the house cusp,
Right.
versus your compromises for relationship, your Libra rising style.
So these moments really force a look at where am I being me? And where am I maybe losing myself to keep the peace or make a relationship work?
Exactly that. That's the central tension these eclipses are likely to illuminate and possibly force shifts around.
It feels like a major theme for the Star-Crossed Diplomat, that constant negotiation between self and other, truth and harmony.
It really is. And, the source material doesn't just leave it theoretical. It connects this archetype to real historical figures, gives it a diplomat's legacy.
Oh, interesting. Like who?
Well, Winston Churchill is one example they give. Think about it. Sagittarian big picture vision, that strategic foresight.
Right, the archers seeing far.
Combined with that Libran gift of the gab, the oratorical grace, the ability to negotiate, to build alliances, blending prophetic strategy with, diplomatic skill.
Yeah, I can see that. Who else?
Mark Twain, another great example. You have the Sagittarian wanderlust, the truth seeker traveling, observing humanity sharply.
The adventurer.
But combined with that Libra wit, the charm, the social observation, he used humor, that charm, as an arrow for social justice, right? Piercing illusion, but disarmingly.
Wow. So the source frames their shared legacy as something like...
Get this. Your arrows pierce illusion. Your charm disarms empires.
Okay, that's powerful. Arrows and charm. Truth and grace.
It nails that unique combo, doesn't it? Bold truth-telling with the finesse to actually make it land, to create change.
It does. And the source brings it into cultural references, too. Makes it even more relatable.
Yeah, this is fun. Think Indiana Jones, the adventurous, truth-seeking academic.
Okay, get the Sagittarian vibe.
Meeting Nick Carraway from The Great Gatsby, the observant, sophisticated, maybe slightly detached but elegant narrator.
Ah, the Libra rising observer. Swashbuckling curiosity meets refined observation. I like it.
Or cinematically, the epic, dusty quests of Lawrence of Arabia.
Grand scale, seeking something big.
Fused with the sophisticated relational nuance of Midnight in Paris.
That blend of epic journey and romantic atmospheric connection.
And musically, Bob Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind, that searching, philosophical, truth-seeking anthem.
The arrow.
Meeting Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon. Charming, smooth, all about connection and the dance between two people.
The olive branch or the velvet glove, maybe?
Exactly. It's that whole package. The quest for big truths, the sometimes difficult journeys, paired with mastering the art of connection, harmony, elegance in relationships.
Okay, so that's the archetype. How does the source suggest actually navigating these 2025 energies? It mentioned an interactive journey.
Right. It breaks the year down into phases, offering practices, rituals. It's framed as the alchemy of balanced fire, how you consciously work with that Sag fire and Libra air.
Alchemy. Okay, I like that. What's the first phase?
Phase 1 is called Truth and Revolution, roughly January to May. This is heavily influenced by that Pluto in the ninth house energy we talked about.
The galactic download phase. Makes sense. What are the prompts?
The pause and reflect questions are pretty potent. What inherited belief, that's Pluto in the ninth, right, limits my freedom? And what dangerous truth must I aim at the world?
Oof, dangerous truth. That hits hard for a diplomat archetype, maybe, aiming truth carefully.
Exactly. It pushes you to confront those deep beliefs. And for ritual, around the Libra full moon in April 7th, it suggests a scales and arrow ceremony.
Scales and arrow. Literally balancing the archetypes.
You got it. You balance an arrow on a scale, add rose petals, Libra, and sage Sagittarius. Then burn it at a crossroads, symbolizing choice.
And there's a chant.
Yeah. My truth seeks harmony. My harmony fuels truth, reinforcing that integration.
And an embodiment, something physical.
The archer's stance. Stand strong, left arm out like a bow, right hand drawing back an imaginary arrow. Inhale, focus your aim. Exhale, release. Feel that energy.
Channeling the Sagittarian focus and release. Okay, cool. What's phase 2?
Phase 2 is eclipse sovereignty. March through September, really zeroing in on those Aries Libra eclipses in the 1st and 7th houses.
Right, the identity versus partnership axis. What's the reflection after our first eclipse in Aries, March 29th?
The question is direct. Where did this eclipse expose self-betrayal for the sake of peace? Essentially, where did you sell yourself out? And then, what warrior diplomat must I become?
Warrior diplomat, again, that blend. Owning your truth, but with skill.
Exactly. And for the second big eclipse, the Libra full moon eclipse in September 17th, affecting the 7th house.
Partnerships.
The ritual is a mask-burning vigil. You make a paper mask, label it the compromiser, that part of you that maybe hides truth to keep things smooth.
Okay.
You burn it with cedar wood for cleansing, scatter the ashes, and the chant is powerful. I choose authenticity over appeasement.
Wow. That's about claiming authentic letting go of people-pleasing, maybe.
Absolutely. And the embodiment exercise for this phase helps navigate that first 7th house tension. It's called the first 7th house bridge.
How does that work?
You face a partner, or imagine one. Step forward, embodying your first house self, your space. Step back, acknowledging the 7th house connection, meeting the other, then find the midpoint.
The balance point.
Right, where you can be fully yourself in relationship. The mantra is, I stand whole in relationship, not sacrificing self for connection or connection for self.
Finding that integration physically.
Yeah.
Powerful. Okay, what's the final phase?
Phase 3 is intimate expansions. This covers June through December, and it's really keyed into Jupiter moving into Cancer in your 8th house.
The soul gravity intimacy phase. Jupiter expanding the deep stuff.
Exactly. So the pause and reflect questions around when Jupiter enters Cancer, June 25th, are suitably deep. What buried vulnerability, that's 8th house territory, must surface to deepen my bonds?
Okay, digging deep.
And how can sharing my inner world become a sacred adventure? Bringing that Sagittarian spirit into the realm of intimacy?
Taking a risk, but an inner one.
Okay.
And the ritual.
For the Sagittarius new moon in December 1st, fittingly, it's a chalice and compass pact.
Chalice and compass.
You fill a chalice or cup with pomegranate juice, symbol of the underworld, depth, 8th house themes. Place a compass beside it, the Sagittarian journey. Bind them with red thread, weaving depth and journey.
And the mantra.
My depth guides my journey. My journey honors depth, connecting inner exploration with outer.
That's beautiful. And the embodiment for this deeper phase.
Pelvic cauldron circles. Sitting cross-legged, gently rotating the pelvis. This connects you to your root, your core, that 8th house energy of safety and merging.
Feeling safe enough to be vulnerable.
Right. You inhale trust, exhale release, and the source suggests whispering, I am safe to merge. There's also a note about Mars and Leo in the 9th during summer.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially bringing fiery conviction and philosophical debates. The embodiment then is expanding the chest, really owning that solar plexus power.
So different physical anchors for different energies throughout the year. Okay. Now, the source talks about potential outcomes, like different paths.
Yeah, 3 arrows of destiny. These aren't rigid predictions, more like potential timelines based on the choices you make navigating these energies.
Okay, potentials. What's the first one?
Timeline 1, the philosopher-statesman. This emerges if you really lean into that Pluto in ninth revolution and the Jupiter in eighth deepening.
So, embracing the big ideas and the deep sharing.
Exactly. Outcomes could be things like publishing groundbreaking work, ethical investments that share wisdom, maybe even founding new kinds of schools. The source even floats things like major awards or transforming education.
Wow, big impact. What's the key choice for that path?
Grounding the big ideals in relational pragmatism, making the philosophy work with people.
Makes sense for the diplomat. Okay, timeline 2.
The freedom architect. This comes from really mastering that eclipse tension, finding authentic self in partnership, and using that Mars in ninth fire constructively.
So balancing independence and connection and taking action.
Right. Outcomes could look like creating new models for relationships, leading global justice campaigns, achieving human rights goals, maybe even founding nomadic communities.
Building new structures for freedom. What's the key choice there?
Protecting your own space and solitude while skillfully building alliances. That's a Libra balance again.
Okay. And there's a third timeline, one to be mindful of.
Yes, timeline 3, the restless compromiser. This is framed as a potential pitfall resulting from resisting the work.
Resisting what specifically?
Resisting the Saturn in fourth healing, not dealing with the family foundational stuff, and resisting the Pluto in ninth truth, not wanting to face uncomfortable realities.
What happens then?
Unhealed patterns might lead to impulsive escapes that don't actually bring freedom. Ideological isolation if you shut down new truths. Superficial relationships, because the depth is avoided. Maybe financial instability, chronic restlessness.
Just spinning wheels.
Kind of. Mistaking motion for actual progress. The key choice to avoid this is realizing that just being busy or moving around isn't the same as growth.
So conscious engagement is key to aiming for those first two timelines.
You got it.
The source also gave a mantra.
It did, specifically for the Star-Crossed Diplomat in 2025. It's quite beautiful. You want to start?
Sure. I am the arrow and the olive branch.
My aim pierces illusion, my grace disarms war.
Where fire meets fairness.
I treaty the wilderness into civilization.
Wow. That really captures the whole dynamic. The source adds something too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When the archer's fire dances with the scales poise, revolutions wear velvet gloves.
Revolutions wear velvet gloves. Force and finesse. Perfect. Okay, let's quickly summarize the key takeaways from the source's astrological alchemy section.
We're pulling it together. Big picture. Libra rising refines that raw sag fire into strategic idealism. It gives it direction and grace.
Makes sense. Pluto in the ninth is fuel for educational or philosophical revolution.
Shattering molds.
While Saturn in the fourth demands you build solid emotional architecture. Real inner security.
And the key body zones mentioned are the legs for the journey, the quests.
Solar plexus for courage, conviction, especially with that Mars energy.
And the hands for that Libran relational artistry, diplomacy connection.
Embodiment tools match this. Archery poses for focus.
Mirror work for self-awareness in relationship.
Breath work to integrate it all.
And the ritual objects mentioned feather quills for ideas, antique sails for balance, nomadic talismans for the journey. It all ties together.
And the source frames this historically as honoring those masculine expressions of ethical exploration and bridge building.
Exactly. It's a rich archetype.
As our cosmic journey concludes.
Dive deeper into your unique path. Request your email audio reading now.
Find the link in the description below.
Explore episode resources and links.
All details are waiting for you there.
Ignite. Think. Become.
So, bringing it all back home, thinking about this incredible interplay between the archer's fire and the scales poise, the profound shifts with Pluto and Saturn, the expansion with Jupiter, the recalibrations with the eclipses. How might really understanding this balance empower you, listening now, to consciously broker that peace within yourself, and maybe out in the world too, to really forge your own unique destiny in 2025?
Yeah, what truth is your arrow seeking, and what grace will you use to disarm the challenges you meet along the way? Something to really sit with.
Absolutely. Food for thought.
Subscribe for Starlight Insights. Thank you for joining us.